What's going on, guys? PokeRadar here, recording another PokeRadar podcast. Today's podcast is going to be a solo one. I got a few things to talk about, a few things I want to get out of my brain, and discuss with whoever watches these things. But at work today, I was listening to the Pokenomics with Jake and Rafi. They had I forget which one it was. Posted a video today talking about Pokemon and pop culture, or like Pokemon being cool, and this sparked a little bit of motivation within me to record this podcast. Um, but yeah, I really like their content. The stuff they're coming out with is great, very informative. They're knowledgeable, invested, and I believe they're E4 members. So shout out to those guys. Love what they're doing. Um, but yeah, let's get into this. I got a few things I want to discuss, but I want to talk mainly about um, this topic of Pokemon being cool. Um, I don't think that's something we have to worry about at this point. I mean, you see um, video games become a multi-billion-dollar industry today with huge tournaments on ESPN, Twitch taking over the world. Um, they're in the news everywhere. Dr. Disrespect was all over. There was an ESPN article about him with his recent ban. That's whatever's going on there. So this whole nerd culture is no longer nerd culture. I mean, yeah, there's still some outliers to it, but there's real business behind this stuff. Kids growing up today, cool ones are the ones playing video games. They're the best at video games. I mean, the kids that I see today in high school, at least the high school that I went to, I don't see any athletes anymore, like traditional athletes. I don't see any basketball players, football players. It's all video game players. It's weird. It's so weird to see, and that's like maybe it's just the area that I grew up in, but it's becoming a real thing. Like it's no longer nerd culture. I mean, I hope that name sticks. Nerd. I think it's a great name. I think people need to accept it. I'm a nerd. I love being a nerd. It's fantastic. Um, but the integration of Pokemon into pop culture still hasn't truly happened yet. I mean, growing up, we transitioned out of Pokemon into some other things, and for me, Dragon Ball Z was the biggest one, the coolest one. And Dragon Ball Z, for some reason, was like, I mean, it was kind of before what I knew what anime was, but it was something that people talked about and was cool. Like even further, I mean, throughout my entire life, like middle school, high school, college, someone brought up Dragon Ball Z. There was a lot of conversation around it. You see Dragon Ball Z in rap songs, hip hop culture. There's a lot of references to it, and it, for whatever reason, maybe I was just paying more attention to Dragon Ball Z than Pokemon, but there's a lot more memes of Dragon Ball Z than there was Pokemon. So Dragon Ball Z was like, to me, the nerdiest thing that was in pop culture for a long time. I mean, until now, Pokemon has definitely taken over. Again, I'm extremely into Pokemon compared to Dragon Ball Z at this point, so that's kind of where my focus is. But there is such a long way to go for Pokemon to be integrated into normal society. Can't talk right now. It's very late. I'm tired. But um, with that being said, these guys, again, it might have been Jake, maybe Rafi, I don't know. We're talking about how we got Gary Vee getting heavily into the card world and showing off Pokemon today, yesterday, whenever it was. Justin Bieber buying some cards, showing it off on Instagram. I don't know if he added this one in there, but Ariana Grande getting an Eevee tattoo. And I mean, you're seeing YouTubers with millions of followers opening packs, doing fun things with. I mean, you see Logan Paul with a Squirtle plushie on the biggest podcast in the world, or one of the biggest podcasts in the world. Um, he also got a Squirtle tattoo. Like, you have to remember the people that are famous now, Justin Bieber, Ariana Grande, all these YouTubers, they were kids just like us at some point. I mean, maybe not those two, but um, they played Pokemon when they were kids. They got the video games, they played the card games just as the same way that we did. And they have that same nostalgic attachment to it that we do. They just have been too busy with their lives to collect Pokemon cards or turn it into a business because they are doing something else. I mean, now that you see like Justin Bieber, I guess he calmed down a little bit, settled down, got married. He's got some time to buy some Pokemon cards, so there you go. Is he going to get heavily into it? Probably not, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, there's a whole world, whole generation of kids that grew up with Pokemon that haven't even dived into it yet. Um, we all know that StockX was trying to penetrate the market pretty heavily early on, but they've kind of taken a step back a little bit from what I see. But I want to talk about this more because StockX, I think, is a very important platform for Pokemon. And when StockX first started reaching out to some of the Pokemon collecting community that we know about, they weren't able to grab a hold of anybody. During this time, I was looking to transition careers, and I happened to stumble upon a job listing, a job post, and lo and behold, the title was Director of Business Development, Pokemon cards, or it was like Pokemon and Magic or something. And I'm looking at this thing like, okay, StockX in my hometown. I match all their criteria that they're looking for. Above and beyond Pokemon knowledge, I know a decent amount enough about Magic, Alpha, Beta. I have handled it quite a bit. Yu-Gi-Oh, whatever else. I was like, okay, this is perfect. This is it. I'm set. This is fantastic. I apply for the job, land an interview, crush the interview. And this is like right in the heart of when I started my podcast and was doing it consistently. Right when I had just opened that first edition Charizard. And, I thought I had this in the bag. Like it was perfect. I had a whole plan. Like, okay, StockX has connections to this. If I'm just saying, if I got this job with StockX, I think things could have been even bigger than they are right now. With the ties that StockX has to that world, seems a little unknown to them and to some others, but I'm just going to talk about it now anyway because they, after I didn't get the job, I reached out to them later on and they said they actually pulled the listing away and were reconsidering their strategy. So that's why we haven't really seen too much of a push in the Pokemon market for them recently. Although it's still out there a little bit, but it's nowhere near what they were like initially trying to do. They're really focused on sports right now and their shoes, of course, and other collectibles. But so StockX, one of the largest owners is Dan Gilbert. Dan Gilbert owns Quicken Loans, Rocket Financial, Cleveland Cavaliers, and Rocket Financial is the number one sponsor, maybe partial owner of 100 Thieves. Now, 100 Thieves, for those that don't know, is currently probably the most popular esports organization out there. Founded by Nate Shot. They've got some of the biggest streamers. They've done pretty well competitively but they, from like a hype standpoint, 100 Thieves is on the top. So with this connection to another nerd community that's more established in pop culture and society, being streaming and video games, I can I can guarantee that a large majority of those people involved in that organization are huge fans and heavily interested in Pokemon cards. So bringing in that team of people and utilizing these resources that are available to StockX that for whatever reason they don't understand, or maybe they are planning to do it. Um, it's just stupid. I mean, this is the perfect way to get through there because not only do you have the esports with this Dan Gilbert organization, but you have the Cleveland Cavaliers, and we know that there's a lot of athletes now playing esports, and they're doing these collaboration tournaments. Um, but these guys in the league now are our age, younger, who are into this stuff, into Pokemon, have a ton of money and a ton of influence. Um, so it was like such a perfect opportunity to help grow this community um, in a way that is inevitably going to happen, but doing it in an organic way was important as well. But it was set for like just an incredible amount of success, and I really wanted to go after that. I really wanted to chase it, and I was just hitting these guys back and forth like, you got to give me a chance. It's like I can make this happen for you guys. I want to make this happen for you guys, and I want to make it happen for Pokemon. Like it would have been phenomenal. But lo and behold, obviously, like I said, did not get the job. I again reached out to them and they pulled the listing. My computer just turned off, but um, I reached out to some of the other guys that were contacted by StockX and talked to them about it and the intentions behind StockX reaching out to these guys just didn't fall in line with their, um, I guess, their strategy, their wants, their needs, and it wasn't it just didn't fit in with our community. So that's why they kind of failed penetrating Pokemon so far. Although I think they will at some point. I love their business model of being the middleman essentially between buyer and seller. I could go on about constant complaints of eBay scammers, both buyers and sellers, PayPal, whatever website. So having that middleman service, which it is more expensive than eBay, it is more expensive than whatever, is totally worth it to me. I've listed some cards on StockX, never had any peeps or touches, so I'm not entirely sure how it really works, but I assume they're not really focused on Pokemon at this time. There's still a lot to be added. There's a lot wrong with it, and I mean these points have been made by several YouTubers, but yeah, that's really all I have for StockX. Thought that was kind of interesting. It was I have there's more stuff I can't talk about, I guess, but maybe at some point, and hopefully that opportunity pops up again for myself or someone else within this community that can help boost our, just speed up and improve the integration of Pokemon into Pokemon collecting into pop culture. Um, so yeah, that's that for StockX. But I also want to talk a little bit about what I've been doing lately with Pokemon. I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram, but I've been opening some evolution boxes lately. I've bought up a few cases, and those few cases came with a few loose boxes. So I figured let's have some fun and open some boxes over the course of the next 2 weeks or however long it took for me to open them. But yeah, evolutions is something that a lot of people have been talking about lately, being a great set to invest in. I think the interesting thing about evolutions is that it is a good set to invest in. Just looking at the prices of the current cards, I know things are inflated in some cases. I don't know where. It very well could be evolution cards, but the fact that the box is still 100, 125 bucks after 4 years, I know there's a ton of it. I know it was printed until yesterday, or probably even still today. Um, it's an incredible set. I mean, I opened up 3 boxes and I've got 9 Charizards. Like, it should easily pay off for the box, and then whatever else has an opportunity to make me a couple bucks as well. So just that value, and I don't know if D&G's done a um, one of his value charts on evolutions yet, but I just feel like the it's undervalued, and it's a set that's enjoyable to open. It's a set that's nostalgic. It's a set that brought a lot of people back into the hobby. Um, so I think moving forward, I think it's a safe bet. That's that's about it. Evolution's kind of a simple, safe thing to get into unless you can't handle the temptation to open stuff, like myself. But yeah, that's one pretty great thing, and I've been, obviously there's other places you can put your money in the Pokemon world, but I like to diversify a little bit. So I got some modern with evolutions. I got actually bought out every um, Mewtwo, the Shining Legends Mewtwo Secret Rare. I bought out every single one that was $50 or less on eBay and Troll and Toad and all that. So I think I got like 15 or so of them. That box jumped up, or the ETBs of Hidden Fates. Sorry, no. What are we talking about? Shining Legends got up from 50 to 100 within like a month or two during this whole pandemic thing. And that's the card that people want from it. I mean, I'm pretty sure PSA 10s have been selling for like $400 or $500. Um, and it's a hard card to pull coming out of an ETB. So I figured, safe bet. I'll buy a few. It's a really cool card. I actually never pulled one. I opened up an entire case, um, but never pulled one. So it's. I'm trying to pull up my Twitch here because I want to show you guys something else that I don't know if I'm allowed to show. But yeah, I've been buying a few modern things, like I said, and I've actually bought some other bigger items. Um, I've been putting a lot of focus in Japanese trophy cards. We can actually touch on this, the Trophy Kangaskhan, the PSA 7. I know there was a lot of talk about it when it happened, but I sold a PSA 7 Trophy Kangaskhan on eBay for $27,000. Um, there were a few things about one it selling for $30,000, which someone hit buy it now and then um, didn't pay, but uh, it sold quickly after that. So that Kangaskhan, which was an incredible sale, and it, I do not regret it in that aspect because I think without that, there was a little bit of stagnant motion. That doesn't make sense. There's a little bit of just flatlining on some of these cards. It was just talk, and nothing was happening. So this sale showed that something was happening, and that there was a change in trophy cards as well, alongside all the other things that are happening with Pokemon cards. But I bought this card from a Japanese website that it had been sitting there for a very long time. I was talking about it with Swolpoke for months, um, and I know other people were looking at it forever. But the store was very good with the communication, and I was able to get some additional pictures and make a very easy purchase to get this thing. I paid, I think, 17 or 18,000. I threw it up on eBay for just for the fun of it. I honestly did not think it would sell. I had a number in mind, but someone, Swolpoke, actually um, had sold a six for about 20 to 22 valuation, just before I bought it, um, and it just made sense to buy a seven at 17,000 or whatever it was. So yeah, when I threw up on eBay, instantly got a ton of interest, and someone finally offered, like, they hit my number that I wanted, and I was able to get a little bit more for it. Um, so I just kind of had to take it, and I'm glad I did. Um, Although I was part of this Trophy King Club for a measly 2 weeks, it was a great sale. It was a great profit. It was good for the card itself, and I'm happy I got to own one for as short as I did. I'm definitely looking to get another one if the opportunity arises. It's a beautiful card. I never thought that I'd have any interest in owning these old Japanese promos or trophies that I have no nostalgic attachment to. But when that thing was in my hands, and maybe it was the money behind the card itself, but it was a beautiful card. I loved it. I thought it was great. It had a nice little swirl. It's a great artwork of Kangaskhan, and the story behind the card is incredible too. So um, it's just a shame that I don't have it anymore, but I'm also happy that I was able to process that, handle that transaction. Um, but yeah, so another card that I just bought, which I'm gonna show right now. Um, I while the Heritage Auction, I don't know if I'm even allowed to show this, but I was Twitch streaming the Heritage Auction while we were all in Discord. I've kind of told people that I was doing it, but as it filled up with a lot of people, like, I just stopped telling people. So hopefully, I don't know what's going to be said. um, so I might have to edit this out. But I went into the Heritage Auction looking to buy the Articuno phone card, the PSA 9 Articuno TNB. After looking at it closely, it wasn't that strong of a 9, in my opinion. I did bid on it up to a certain point and then lost. Actually, if you watch, I don't have the clip of it, but if you watch it, I did try to click before it ended, and I just missed by like a fourth of a second, so I lost it. But so I decided to look at the other ones. There's the Moltres and the Zapdos. The Zapdos looked pretty rough, so I was like, I'm not even going for that one. But the Moltres looked pretty good, so I decided to give it a shot.
A little under.
I feel like
it's
7,800. So I don't know
Yeah, 72.
if you guys can hear this, but
John.
no, this is me bidding on the PSA 9 TNB Moltres. You can hear some people in the background there talking, but we're at
one cut bid.
5,000. You get one cut bid, which is half of their next increment, which I use there. So I'm at 5250. I had a lot of adrenaline.
$250 more puts you in the lead. You're gonna get cut. What? Anybody
I got this one. I got it.
Yeah, will the cut take this? Steal it away from you. Warning. Final call. Last it ends. Who got it?
Nice.
Boom.
Yep.
Just like that.
Get it?
Yeah.
So
there you go. Now you're gonna want the set.
No, dude, this thing's going straight on eBay.
Making it even $4,000. Just use the same image.
So I was just joking around there that I was going to throw it right up on eBay, which I will. I'll throw it at a pretty high number and just wait. Um, but yeah, so that was my first experience bidding on anything in like a legitimate auction house, or anything of like a single card of that value and kind of that, um, in that format. So I did have a lot of adrenaline. I didn't actually. I really honestly, I was not considering buying anything other than that Articuno. And when I lost it, I was kind of pissed. I was like, okay, I really want to just get something. So, with everybody there kind of talking about it, and I was just, I was ready to spend a certain amount of money, and it fell within that budget. So I went for it. That thing should arrive here shortly in the next couple of days. And I'm really hoping that it is as nice as I saw in the pictures. Or remember when I saw in the pictures. I honestly haven't looked at it close enough since I won it. Um, I'm scared that the adrenaline got the best of me, but it's a great card, very rare card. It's actually the lowest pop of any of the TMB phone cards. Pop 4 and the 9, pop 4 and the 10. So I'm excited. I'm happy about it. I don't ever, you know what? I just, it's a rare card, and something that fourth star TCG actually said today in his video was, um, just buying rare cards has been a very big factor of his success with Pokemon collecting. So the opportunity came up and I went for it. But I also do have another card hopefully coming in soonish, bigger than the TMB phone card. So I am not going to share with you what that is until it's in my hands, but it will be up on my Instagram the moment that I get it. So keep an eye out for that. Um, yeah, the whole pandemic here and market boom is a scary thing. It's been an amazing thing, and a lot of people have been holding off on buying things, but I've been focusing my funds on specific, I guess, sub markets within Pokemon, because I think, and a lot of people most likely agree with this, that there are a lot of inflated pricing, and once this whole thing ends and people stop getting this extra money, are they really gonna still want these cards that they bought? And the answer is honestly no. There's gonna be an influx of supply. Um, when PSA is running at a more efficient capacity, there's going to be a huge influx of PSA cards available for sale. So, it's going to be interesting. Will the demand stay as high as it is? Is it going to continue to grow? It's. I think there is going to be an imbalance. Pokemon is going to continue to grow for a long time still, but there is going to be an imbalance, I think, of supply and demand coming up soon. Um, so the safest bets that I've been looking at are affordable modern stuff that is cool and still near the same price as it is when it came out, and the high end trophy market, or just high end market in general. Um, that's typically the safest place, because no matter what happens in the world, supply and demand does not shift as dramatically as it does for the mid tier and low tier items. Um, so, although I might lose a few potential buyers for this phone card in the near future, um, I plan on holding on to it anyway. So, I'm not worried about it, and it's going to be a cool piece to add to the collection that has quickly dwindled since I sold a lot of my stuff early on this year. But I'm kind of having some fun rebuilding it and having completely new goals, because I had built the sealed collection. I dealt with the sealed stuff and realized that selling it is a headache. And it really showed me the importance of third party authenticators, graders, because it creates a established, preset condition, and there's just no question to um, the authenticity of the card or the item. When I'm selling individual packs, people claim they're resealed, people claim they're fake, people claim whatever. When you're selling boxes, it doesn't happen as often because of how much they cost now, but it still happened. People claiming boxes were resealed, um, inauthentic, whatever it may be, and it's not fun to deal with at all. I've got one more heavy first edition base set booster pack, Venusaur art. So good chance there's a Charizard. Um, it's worth a ton of money. It's a 5-figure item now. But there's not a chance in hell that I sell that thing. So what's going to happen with it? I'm going to open it. When? I don't know. I told myself like a month ago I was going to open it, and I didn't. So I'm just waiting for the right moment. It's selling something like that is difficult, um, especially when it's to a random person. The heavy packs that I sold in the past from actually same lot resulted in a couple people trying to scam me, and with how honest I am with doing business, it just pissed me off. I mean, I won the cases. I did all the preventative work to in case something came up, which I'm glad I did. So being a little bit paranoid helped out a lot in this case, or these cases, and everything was fine. So, that also made me question my morality a little bit, and um, just thinking like that the guys that try to scam me just don't even deserve to have the packs, even at the prices they paid. I mean, they doubled by now, but even at the time, like those guys just did not deserve it. They don't deserve to hold on to an item of that value, of that historical importance to our hobby, and it's a shame. So, um, yeah, I just wanted to touch base again with you guys on what I've been doing, and um, kind of what I think of Pokemon and pop culture, and the potential growth that we still have left. I mean, there's so much more time left for Pokemon to grow, for Pokemon to become much bigger than it is today. I mean, we're all looking at this. We're all skeptical of prices, and you heard me be skeptical of prices earlier, and it's just, yeah, the markets adjust, but it's just it's so well established, and there's so much room left to grow. I mean, I consider myself probably the peak age for collecting Pokemon cards. I'm 27. I just started my career. I'm gonna go back to school so I can make more money. I'm gonna maybe have a family. And guess what? My wife's paying half the rent. So I'm not even close to maxing out my my salary. I'm not even close to maxing out, or I guess minimizing my expenses. And when I'm old and fat and have a couple kids, I'm gonna want to spend my money on me a little bit too, and that's gonna be on Pokemon cards. So solid 10 to 15 years, solid 10 to 15 years, and I'm just looking forward to every step of the way. Hope that the card that I bought arrives to me safely, and I will be sharing the TNB Moltres most likely in the next couple days, or tomorrow, whenever this podcast is posted. I don't know when it'll be. This camera angle is also very weird. Been staring at the lens as much as I can, so I don't know what it looks like because the screen's to the left. But hey, here we are. So hopefully I shed some light on StockX, and and the potential value that they can create for Pokemon. Shed some light on what pop culture and celebrities can do for the Pokemon community, collecting community. And hopefully I shed some light on what you want to buy and what you want to invest in, what you want to collect, what you want to flip. So, yeah, I'm going to end it right there. This was a short one. I don't know how to talk to myself for an hour anymore. I used to be able to do it. Right now, I can't. I definitely had other topics I want to talk about, but I can't remember them right now because I didn't write them down. So, hey, there's a tip of the day. Stay organized, write down your ideas, and you'll succeed. All right, have a good one.